Hey guys, Ryan here, doing a little tutorial video on how to quickly add a customer. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do when we get an address is we want to see if we have the data in our database. So we're going to go to customer search, and right up here in the search bar, we can simply just start typing the address in. For this account, it's 29740 Westfield Street. See right here, we click that, it auto populates all this information in, and we hit search. We look here and we have these are some test accounts that we have, but we have a couple accounts on this for this address. But let's pretend that we don't have any information on this account. What we're going to do is we're going to go up here to add a customer, and then it brings up a new screen. So right now we're just going to put this guy. Let's just say this guy wants a quote. So estimate requested. Now we're going to put the address 29740 West. Right there it is. We're going to click it, and all of a sudden it auto-populates all this stuff down here. It says that we have a duplicate customer found, which we knew before. So we're just going to cancel. If you did that and you notice that we did have that information in, you could go to this customer right there and then start editing or working in that customer screen. We're just going to hit cancel for now. But this all auto-populated down here. And now here we have the opportunity to put the name in. We're going to call him Jimbo Osimo. We have all that information in right there. And then we come down here to phone number. So this is a little bit different than SA4. Right here, you can't put anything in. You can't put any parentheses or anything like that. It's just all just data input. So don't worry about it, put any dots, dashes, all that would be wrong. So this is the only way that we can put these in. And let's say we have another phone number. So all of a sudden, when we see these are called radio buttons, we would click the one that we want it to be active to, where the TCN would go and things like that. Down here, you can see it asks for an email address. We're going to put this guy's pretty big deal. He's got the info@aol.com email address. Now you see this little box right here, it says billing address. So right now, the bill would be going to this property. But let's say like this was a business, or it was a rental property, or someone else is paying for the bill. You would click this, and now this opens up all this other information down here where you could put a different person's name, different address, to send the statements and bills someplace else. But for now, we're not going to use that. We're going to check that, and we're going to hit next. Up top, this is a residential property versus a commercial. These buttons right here would dictate that. We're gonna hit next. Okay, now we're just gonna ask for a source. We're just gonna say that this was an other source. Map code, we're not really using that right now. The size, we don't have a size because we haven't measured it yet. Tax isn't really applied to us. Subdivision, doesn't look like this feature is available yet, but this is where you would put an HOA name, or somebody that has a specific subdivision for them. And then down here where it says invoice worksheet notes and directions. So this is like the main screen. So if we pull up a property, let's say the guy never wants to have a service done behind his garage, we would put, for any reason, any service, but never service behind the. So that would show up on the main screen of the customer as opposed to some specific program or service notes. Right here to the right is directions. So house is 3 homes from the. Oops. So that kind of just helps the technician when they're out in the field if they have any problems, or maybe it's just not mapping right. And then flag codes, if we ask the client, typically we want to know if they have an invisible fence or sprinklers. So for this account, we have no sprinklers, and we have no invisible fence. And we're going to hit OK. And then we can save it right here. But since we don't have the measurement, what we're going to do is this little triangle here. We're going to go to Save and go to Measurement Assistant. So it takes a second, and all of a sudden we have the property. The first thing we're going to notice is that it's a lot of trees. The property is measuring a bunch of weird stuff. So the first thing we're going to do, I like just to get rid of the image. So we click on this little arrow key right here, click on the image, and then simply from the keyboard, I just hit delete. So now we have a decent image, but I really can't see how to measure the property because of all these trees. So I'm gonna look for a different date. Typically, winter images like March are really good dates. You can see now this was taken just about a year ago, but now we see everything is much easier to see. We're gonna start measuring the property. So simply just hit this polygon right here. You're gonna go like this. You're just gonna measure through. Remember, this guy didn't want behind his garage, so we're just gonna skip that for now. And then right when you get to the end, you just double click and then it turns it to green. And so as you can see on the property, this was 3.99 thousand square feet for this measurement. If we wanted to hide that measurement, we would simply click that little eye. If we wanted to take the measurement away, but still be able to see it, but just take away the 3.99, we would hit this little checkbox right here. So we can see the measurement, but it's not being applied to the total square footage of the property, which is right here. Watch, I'll check that back. Boom, right there. So we're going to continue measuring this property. We're going to do the front part now. Right there. There's a little area on the side right here. We're just going to measure. I just know this property, so that's why we're going to add it. And then, okay, so let's just say, like I said before, we don't want this area right here. It's just, we decided that we're not going to worry about that one. So simply remove it. Now it takes the size off. We can do that. And if we want to delete it, again, we hit this little triangle, hit the delete key on the keyboard, and that's it. So we're just going to delete those other two pieces just to make life easy. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we need to capture the image. Looks like it's pretty centered right there. We're going to go right here. All right, we see the image. Looks great to me. Category, we're going to put MEA lawn. And for title description, we're going to put now there's a couple buttons below, and we want to keep these checks. Print with invoice, CAW, and mobile live. This means that we have the ability to print it on an invoice, we have the ability to show it in CAW when the customer logs in, and the technicians will be able to look at it on their mobile tablets or phones. So from here, everything looks good. We're gonna hit save. But right now, we didn't save the measurement to the property yet. So this is an important part. We're gonna hit save right here. So now it's saved to their property. Now we're going to go back to this account. Simply go up here to account, see where it says customer details. Just hit this little back button right here. And then when we go out, we all of a sudden see that we have property details with the correct property size. So now we want to give them a quote. So let me take a step back too. If you ever need to go back to a measurement, you can go up here. There's some tools up here. We can go up here, click measurement assistant, prepaid calculators, all these things. But for now, we're just gonna hit measurement assistant just to show you guys. Brings you back right back to that property. You might need to change the dates again, but you see still have the same measurements. And then we're going to just go back to the account. So now we're going to add some services. Right now we have a couple packages that we offer. So if it's a new client, typically if it's not just a single service, we want to offer them a package. So for now, we're going to click packages. The status, still they're not an active client right now. So we're going to go to an AMA email. Estimate number 2. In the package, we're going to click gold package. Service year is 2019. We're going to click next. You go to the source. So if since this is a new client, the source is going to be the same. If this was an existing client and they wanted like one service, then it might be different. Maybe they got us from an email ad or something like that. But for now, we're just going to go back down, and you can filter through these too and type other, and it pops up. The date is today. Requested by, you can type Jimbo. A request taken by, it's we can do me right there. Referred by, this is a referral. Right now, this doesn't look like it's active yet. And then the estimate given by, again, this would be whoever took the estimate. Typically, it might be the same person as the request taken by, but not always. We're gonna hit next. Now right here, we see lawn care program, dandelion defender, and the grub control preventative. Now there's no real way of knowing without our descriptions of whether these are programs or not yet. but there is a way in the next screen, which I'll show you. So we're going to hit save. We're going to please review the following. So it wants to make sure that we're all on AMA2, and we do. So we're going to hit OK. And all of a sudden, we see that we have some stuff down here now. We see that we have the lawn care program, the dandelion defender, and then the grub control preventative. Now, before I was telling you that there really wasn't a way to differentiate between programs and services. Well, here there is. When you see this, it means it's a program. So when we click on this, opens up a new window, and we see that we have some different things here. These are the services right here, estimate taken by, all this cool stuff, but we want to get them a price. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up to here, tools, we're going to click prepay calculator. All of a sudden it's blank. Well, it's because it says include paid and prepaid services. Well, we don't have any, they don't have any active services. So we're going to click this button that says include inactive services. And all of a sudden you see all these drop downs now. So we have the spring feeding application, the spring fertilizer weed control, and the rest down. So still, we don't have a price for them. So we either want to give them, say we want to give them a 5% prepaid discount. We're going to click right here, 5% prepaid discount. And all of a sudden down here, all right, the discount would be $16.90. So right now they can pay $321.03 if they want to sign up. So now we have a price. Now we have the opportunity to give them a price and let them know, hey, would you like to sign up? Let's say they say yes. Well, let's activate them then. So we go back to the account. We're going to edit this account. So we're going to click on this right here. It's their status or customer status. We're going to go to active. 4.42 looks good to me. So you can see we have an account here that's active without any active services. So what we want to do is we want to activate the program and the services. But let me just take a step back. If you ever want to look at anybody's job history really quick, like you want to open these up and look at something without actually having to open them up, you can hit show all details. And it gives you the schedule, the completed dates, the invoice number, and any discounts that could be applied to this program or these individual services. But for now, we're just going to start activating these services. We're going to click on it. We're going to change this to active. And then, so if we wanted to put like we had the note in there for not to do behind the garage, and that kind of covers everything. So that would cover the lawn care program that we activated, the dandelion defender, and the grub control. But let's just say on this lawn care program, like Mr. doesn't, oops, want back done at all. So that would just give this specific job or program, this area right here would let them know just for that service. But the other services, we would do everything but behind the garage. And then right here, we could set an expiration date to whatever time. So for right now, we'll just have it at the end of the month. Okay. And then now what we want to do is we want to activate the services. So we go down here, we go to sales details, we go to salesperson. Again, it's easy. You can just type in your initials. Boom. So we're going to hit save. And now it's going to give us the opportunity to activate the other two. So we're going to go back to the main job, main customer screen, and we're going to go through the dandelion defender now and the grub control preventative. We go down to active, click over here, salesperson, I'm there. It's asking if I would like to activate the grub control preventative. This is a feature that isn't available yet, but it will be available in the future. So if I want to activate this, I would, along with it, it would give the same salesperson everything else. But since it's not working right now, we're just not going to do it. We're going to have to do it the old way. So we're going to hit continue, hit success. And then we're going to go to the last job. And we're going to activate that. I'm already there. All right, I saved it. Okay. So now we have a client with active services. So the last thing we're going to do is maybe he wants to make a prepayment. So we're going to go up here to tools. We're going to go to the prepay calculator. We already gave him the amount, but we're just to make it easy. We're just going to add a code. So now it gives him the 1690 discount, 32103 with, or he can do, he can do a one-time payment at 32103, or he can do installments. We're going to add a payment, and then you start entering the data. And typically, if they're going to be doing it over the phone, they're going to be doing a credit card payment. So we have the amount, we have the date. Typically, here's cash is for checks. So we're going to go, let's just say he has a Discover. And now we're going to be putting all the credit card information in. Unfortunately, I don't have any credit card information to put in today, so we're just gonna pretend that we did, and then it would give you the check number, and then you hit save, and then you'd have the opportunity to post it. But for now, I think we covered a lot of bases on this video, so stay tuned for some more videos in the future. Have a great day, guys.